The Bastards of Oblivion.
Follow this loosely knit band of space cadets as they dream and beam their way through time and space to save the galaxy from the forces of the Dark Star and the clones of
Baby Hitler.
Look, under that rock.
No, he's over there.
Bastards of Oblivion, Episode 6. The Clones of Baby Hitler, Part 5. The Honey Bear. After all the stuff happened in the last episode, I eventually showed up at the location which was on the map. I was early, of course, because I live on Lombardi time. It was a warehouse. It was well kept and even had flowers in the front of the office. I figured the secretary who worked here must be some sort of hippie because I could smell patchouli. The light came on as I approached the building. I thought that was pretty cool because I'd never seen that before. It was 1982. I figured I should get myself one of those someday, and I knock on the door. A tiny little door on the door opens, and I see an eyeball looking at me.
Yeah, what's the password?
I'm confused.
Password? You mean like in the movies? You catch on pretty quick after a little while, don't you, champ?
I didn't get one, man.
Oh, come on, every secret agent's got a password.
But I didn't get one, man.
You mean you didn't get one? What are you, stupid? Of course they give you a password.
No, really, man, I left it at home. He opens the door, and it opens outwards and smacks me in the face.
Wow, man, shit.
I step back 2 steps, and he laughs.
The door opens outwards. Let me see the note.
He's a short guy, and I notice that he is standing on a box to look through the little window which is used to apparently ask for passwords.
What note, man? What do you mean, what note? The note that told you how to get here.
Oh, that note, yeah. I don't have it, man.
You ain't got it. Where did you do with it?
It's in my other pants.
What the fuck? What sort of an aeronaut are you?
I didn't know what an aeronaut was, but I went along with it anyway.
The last note that got lost like that was left its way into the hands of the Black Sun via the clothes dryer wormhole.
Didn't it get all fucked up in the washing machine, man?
Hell if I know, I didn't write the script. What did it say?
What did who say?
Not who, it, you nitwit. Sheesh. What did the note say?
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4 hours.
Welcome aboard the Honey Bear.
It was Lieutenant Christian, Larry, and Lamont were also there. The Honey Bear, sir?
Please, call me Jesse.
He paused.
The Honey Bear is what we call the Ark.
Larry speaks up.
You named it, don't you recall?
No, I don't.
Well, it's time to up your security clearance a bit, cowboy,
says Lamont. Lieutenant Christian walks over to the porthole and touches it with his finger.
I have a clip from the Aniroscape library to add to your memory banks.
We watch the earth below suddenly vanish as the porthole becomes a viewing screen.
The following was filmed before a live studio audience.
The door on the ship was closing. This particular baby Hitler clone has almost escaped.
Do you think you can get close enough?
I'll do it, sir. The Hanabu 2 was lifting into the air. It was 1930-something. I ran and stuck a sticky blob of Play-Doh-like explosive to the ship just as it lifted off. There was no prop wash, only the hum of the Mercury-run centrifuge engine designed by Victor Schauberg from designs that were transmitted via occult technology to Maria Orsic. But that is a tangent. Anyway, the ship lifted into the air and began to gain speed. After a few hundred feet, the plastic explosive fell off and exploded a few yards just below the craft and then vanished.
Yeah, you fucked it up again, cowboy.
Lamont never swears, hardly ever anyway. We stood there watching as the ship disappeared in the distance. A tiny puff of smoke drifting slowly away from the charge of the putty explosive which fell off of the ship.
Well, Trinity, at least you made it to the fucking party.
Yeah, well, the next party I'm going to bust that Honey Bear 2 open like a pinchy piñata. We were wearing Nazi SS uniforms. I always thought that they were pretty sharp, but I know what they represent. Fuck the Nazis, even if their uniforms looked good, motherfuckers. Anyway, we had been spotted and there were soldiers firing at us and some began to run towards us.
Well, shit, I need to go to the bathroom,
says Larry. Lamont looks at me and laughs. There is a small building about 100 feet from us.
Would it be your intention to take a shit in that there devastating and abandoned outhouse?
Lamont grinned. The door of the building had been blown off, so there isn't really a door.
Any old port in a storm.
Shouts Larry.
Well, it's the thought that counts, right?
Lamont grinned and started to run. Last one back to the club is a rotten egg, I hollered. The three of us ran towards the tiny building. I saw 1,000 cans of sauerkraut on a shelf when I dived into the building like Mark Spitz being chased by a bunch of teenage girls. I like sauerkraut. Oh yeah, I remember. So, what about it? Lieutenant Christian, Jesse, looks at me with a blank face.
That was for the benefit of the audience. That was a failed mission. I now grant you clearance to recall it because if you share it, everyone will think you are insane.
They already do.
What I really called you all here for was to brief you on Fuzzy.
Fuzzy. And Lamont farted.
I'm sorry. He rolled another film clip, and it showed a whole bunch of horrible things that were too gruesome and upsetting to share. The John Glenn clones were in the film, and explained to me that these particular clones of baby Hitler were particularly after me, particularly because I was particular to them. He then showed me a picture of the clones I was familiar with, and I noticed the resemblance immediately. Each clone was slightly different from the other in minor ways that elude even the keenest observation. He went on and stuff, but I am leaving it out because it isn't necessarily necessary information necessarily. Anyway, Fuzzy was coerced by the short grays to bless a baby Hitler clone with his knowledge in one of his concerts. He bit the head off a chocolate Easter rabbit, and it was filled with vampire blood that tasted like Tutti Frutti. Oh, Rudy. The blood was poured on a voodoo doll made by Mary LeVay herself, which was saved all this time by a member of the Crips in Chicago. This set the crowd into a frenzy, and the energy in the Coliseum was so high that this particular baby Hitler clone gained a magic known as glamour. This is the baby Hitler clone everyone is familiar with. He now rocks with the help of the devil, so to speak. See? I told you everyone's got a password, man.